Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a moment when silence speaks louder than presence, and your absence becomes your greatest statement of power. Sometimes life reminds us that we don't always need to be present to be noticed. Your presence holds power, but your absence can reveal even more. It's in the quiet moments, when you step back, that others begin to recognize your true value. Today, I want to encourage you to let them miss you. You were born with inherent worth. It's not something you need to earn or someone else can give you. It was woven into your being the moment you took your first breath. Yet, many of us forget this truth. We become so focused on proving ourselves, at work, in relationships, or among friends, that we tie our self-worth to how others perceive us. This is dangerous because, once you do that, you allow them to define your value. Let me be clear, no one can determine your worth but you. Not your boss, partner, or closest friend. Your worth isn't measured by how much you give or how well you meet others' expectations. It's not about your accomplishments, status, or title. Your worth is intrinsic. It comes from knowing who you are and owning that, regardless of others' opinions. We live in a world where we're constantly seeking approval, craving recognition, or hoping for validation. But here's the hard truth. You don't need anyone's approval to be worthy. The moment you start seeking external validation is the moment you lose sight of your own value. When you rely on others to make you feel good about yourself, you give them the power to define your happiness and self-esteem. And that's a power you should never hand over. So, when the world doesn't seem to see your light, remember this. It doesn't mean it's not shining. Sometimes it's in the stillness, in those moments of solitude, that we realize just how bright we really are. You have to own that light and believe in it, even when no one else does. Your worth is yours, and it's constant. It doesn't waver based on someone else's ability or inability to see it. Stop seeking validation from those who don't recognize your value. Know your worth, stand firm in it, and watch how the world around you begins to change. Sometimes stepping back is the most powerful move you can make. In our quest to feel valued, we often overextend ourselves, showing up when we're tired, giving when we have nothing left, and being present for others long after we've neglected our own needs. We think, if I just stay a little longer, give a little more, they'll see my worth. But here's the thing, people don't often appreciate what's always available to them. Familiarity can make them blind to the gifts you bring into their lives. By stepping back, you create space for reflection, not just for others, but for yourself. It's in that space that people begin to notice what they've been overlooking: your constant presence, your unwavering support, your energy. All the things they may have taken for granted become more visible when you're no longer offering them so freely. But this step back isn't about punishing anyone or playing mind games. It's about reclaiming your energy, your time, and your peace. It's about telling the world, I know my worth, and I don't need to be constantly present for you to see it. It's a powerful statement. And often, that absence does what constant presence cannot. It reminds people that you were never an obligation. You were a blessing. This isn't about abandonment. It's about recalibration. You're giving others the chance to see who you really are, without the noise, without the constant availability, without you always filling the gaps. When you step back, you allow people the opportunity to understand your value in ways they couldn't when you were always right there. And even if they don't come to realize it, you'll have gained something far more important: a deeper understanding of yourself, your needs, and the importance of being appreciated for who you truly are. When you step back, something amazing happens. You create the space to focus on your own growth. Too often, we pour so much energy into others that we forget to nurture ourselves. We get caught up in the expectations and needs of those around us, losing sight of our own goals, dreams, and well-being. But when you step back, when you let people miss you, you reclaim that energy and redirect it towards your own development. This is your time to invest in the things that make you better, stronger, and more fulfilled. It's about reconnecting with your passions, setting boundaries, and pursuing the things that ignite a fire in you. When you start focusing on your own growth, you begin to realize that you are more than what others perceive. You are more than the roles you play in their lives. You are a whole person with dreams, ambitions, and potential that can only be fully realized when you stop pouring everything into everyone else. Personal growth is a journey, and it's ongoing. But here's the thing, you can't grow if you're constantly available to everyone else, but unavailable to yourself. You can't evolve if your energy is always scattered, trying to meet everyone else's needs. Stepping back allows you to center yourself. It gives you the time and space to figure out what you want, what makes you happy, and how you can become the best version of yourself. And when you invest in your own growth, you start to attract the kind of people, opportunities, and situations that are aligned with that higher version of you. Focusing on your own growth isn't about leaving others behind. It's about elevating yourself. Focusing on your own growth isn't about leaving others behind. It's about elevating yourself so that when you do show up, you're showing up as the best version of who you are. You have more to give when you're fulfilled, more to share when you've taken the time to nurture yourself. And in that process, you may find that the people who once took you for granted begin to see you in a whole new light, not because you changed for them, but because you grew for yourself. Let them miss you while you grow into the person you are destined to become. As you begin to focus on yourself and step back, there's something essential to remember. Reclaim your energy. In this life, your energy is your most valuable asset. It fuels your dreams, your work, your relationships, your entire existence. But so often, we give it away too freely. We offer our energy to those who don't appreciate it, to situations that drain us, and to thoughts that keep us small. Now is the time to reclaim that energy and invest it where it truly matters, into yourself and into the people and places that feed your spirit. It's easy to fall into the trap of trying to prove your worth. You give and give, hoping that one day they'll see you. But those who genuinely value you never need convincing. They don't require you to chase or to exhaust yourself for recognition. In fact, when you stop chasing, something powerful happens. You reclaim your direction. You begin to channel your energy into what uplifts you and away from what depletes you. Reclaiming your energy means having boundaries. It means saying no without guilt. It means choosing peace when everything is asking you to choose chaos. It means recognizing that your well-being matters. You are not here to carry the weight of everyone's expectations. You are not here to abandon yourself for the sake of being liked. You are allowed to step away from what hurts. You are allowed to say, "This no longer serves me." When you protect your energy, you become rooted. You become clear. And from that place of clarity, you begin to attract those who see and respect you as you are. So don't be afraid to pull back. Don't be afraid to take your time. Reclaim your power and redirect it toward the life you truly want. Watch how things change when you stop pouring into places that never pour back into you. Let them miss your energy. Let the absence speak louder than words. Let the silence be filled with the fullness of your self-worth. Leaving a mark is about more than being noticed. It's about making sure your presence resonates, whether you're in the room or not. What do you want people to remember about you? What legacy are you creating right now? We often underestimate our impact. Every small act of kindness, every time you speak with authenticity, every quiet show of support, it matters. These are the things that last. These are the moments that echo. But if you're always giving, always present, others may forget how significant you are. That's why distance is powerful. It gives people space to recognize your light. They remember your laughter, your presence, your guidance. The way you showed up, not for praise, but because you cared. And now, with you stepping back, they see what they once overlooked. This isn't about grand gestures or dramatic exits. It's about intentional presence and meaningful absence. It's about making your energy count. You don't have to be loud to leave an impression. You don't have to be everywhere to matter. Sometimes, it's in the distance that your value becomes clearest. When you step away, you give others the opportunity to reflect. They may not see it at first, but with time, they will. The warmth you brought, the love you gave, the strength you offered, all of it remains. All of it matters. Let your absence remind them of the gift that is your presence. Let the space you leave behind become sacred, a place where they come to understand your worth. In doing so, you not only leave a mark, you create room for meaningful reconnection when the time is right. And when that time comes, when they return, recognizing the depth of your value, meet them not from a place of lack, but from the strength you've gained. This is not about letting people walk back into your life without accountability. This is about honoring your growth. Yes, they may return. Yes, they may finally see what you brought into their lives. But you've changed. You've evolved. You've done the inner work. So when they come back, don't lose yourself again. Bring your truth. Bring your clarity. Bring your new standard. Have the conversations that matter. Set boundaries that protect your peace. Share what you've learned and ask them to do the same. Let the relationship be rebuilt, not on the memory of who you were, but on the reality of who you've become. Welcoming someone back doesn't mean forgetting the times you felt unseen. It means choosing growth over resentment, clarity over confusion, and purpose over pain. And if they aren't ready to meet you where you are, that's okay too, because now you know your worth. Let them miss you. Let your absence be a revelation. Let your growth be undeniable, and let your it happens be on your terms with wisdom, grace, and power. You are worthy, always. You are enough, always. And sometimes the most powerful move you can make is to step back, reclaim yourself, and rise. We often believe that we must always show up to earn recognition. At work, in relationships, in friendships, this belief can push us to overextend ourselves even when it drains us. But there's great power in stepping back. It allows others to feel your absence, recognize your contributions, and reflect on what you brought into their lives. Just because you're not there doesn't mean your value disappears. Your value is not based on what you do for others, how much you give, or how people treat you. It's something you were born with. Society often conditions us to believe that our value comes from success, popularity, or approval. But true worth isn't external. It's internal, rooted in self-awareness, identity, and dignity. When you recognize that your value isn't up for negotiation, you stop chasing validation and start living with confidence and self-respect. When you rely on others to validate your worth, you give them control over your self-esteem and happiness. Trying to prove yourself constantly is exhausting and unsustainable. The moment you tie your identity to how others see you, you become emotionally dependent. The speech encourages reclaiming that power, because true freedom comes when you stop looking outward for approval and start honoring your own inner truth. Stepping back is not weakness or abandonment. It's a reclaiming of your energy, peace, and personal power. By stepping back, you protect yourself from burnout and emotional depletion. It's not about punishment or games. It's about choosing yourself. You're not required to be constantly available, especially to people who take you for granted. In creating distance, you allow space for others to reflect and for yourself to recharge and realign. You cannot grow if you're always pouring into others and neglecting yourself. To evolve, you need time, focus, and self-investment. Constantly being there for everyone else leaves no room for your own development. By taking a step back, you give yourself the chance to rediscover your dreams, passions, and purpose. Growth isn't selfish, it's necessary. Your presence is a gift. Your absence is powerful, and your worth is not determined by how others treat you. The speech ends on an empowering note: you are valuable because you exist. The people who truly matter will recognize that, not because you shouted it, but because your silence, absence, and growth made it undeniable.